Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to Regular Josh 1. Well, it's been a long time since I've done a review of a show that is mainly geared towards preschoolers. In fact, I was debating for a bit if I should even do a review of this series, but here we are. Today we're going to be talking about a little show called Bluey. Bluey is an Australian animated series following the adventures of Bluey, who lives with her mom and dad and her little sister Bingo. Along the way, she and her sister learn valuable lessons and so forth. It sounds pretty simple enough. When I first saw the show, I was curious to see what it was. In fact, one of the first moments that I saw from the show, Bluey was excited about something coming in the mail, I believe, and she started flossing. Yes. Flossing. The dance. Flossing. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I mean, I understood why they added that in there, especially since this is a show for a younger audience, but still, that was pretty cringy to me at the time. However, I ended up checking out another episode later on due to the fact that there literally was nothing else that I wanted to watch at the time, and when I tend to want to still watch TV, but I'm also bored, I end up going on to some of these preschool channels anyway. That's kind of how I end up somewhat enjoying some of these shows. Upon having a second full look at the show again, I started to get a sense of what the show really is. What you'll mainly find is that Bluey and Bingo very often want to play games with their parents. It's usually playing games of pretend or using their imaginations, like pretending to climb up a mountain or pretending to be doctors or being taxi drivers and whatnot. Usually they play these games with their parents, but on some occasions you'll see them playing with their friends at school. While they play these games, they always learn important lessons like sharing, taking turns, not being selfish, learning to speak up for yourself, getting over your fears, all that fun stuff. It never feels as though these messages are just hammered into your heads. You see it all in the actions of the characters themselves, and that's pretty refreshing to see. So far, I've seen about every episode of Season 1, and to be honest, I'm definitely a fan of the show. It's very cute and surprisingly very funny. What I really like is the show's use of imagination. It's very clever. It kind of reminds you of when you were a kid and how you would play pretend at that age. Also, I have to say that I can't help but love the parents' dedication to their kids, because the stuff that they do for them is pretty hilarious sometimes. In fact, my favorite character is the dad. A lot of times he's shown to not look forward to the games that the kids come up with, but he still has a lot of fun playing around with them. But sometimes they also have their parents get into some embarrassing situations as well.
Dad.
Yeah?
How does the baby get in the lady's belly?
You'd think that mom and dad would just stop playing some of these games when they're in public, but nope, they just keep playing along. I don't know about you, but that's real dedication. It also kind of shows you how great they are at parenting, even if they do make a little mistakes here every now and then. I won't lie, some parents could definitely learn something from them. I should also mention that the kids are well written too. They're not over the top or annoying or very bratty or unlikable. They're written pretty much like, well, real kids. Being curious about how things work, being very imaginative, sometimes they argue with each other but eventually make up, and even when they do happen to misbehave a little bit, they still learn their lessons fairly well, and their dialogue is also pretty realistic for their age too. It's funny because a lot of people seem to compare this show to Peppa Pig for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's because the premise of these shows are kinda similar, but if there is something I have noticed, people seem to like Bluey a whole lot more. I mean, can you blame them? Peppa Pig is annoying. Overall, the show is very good. The animation may look kind of simple at first, but it's definitely well animated. It's very pleasing to the eye, especially for a preschool cartoon. The show has managed to catch me by surprise sometimes. And here's one example. There's an episode where Bluey goes camping and she meets this other kid from another country and they become good friends. And by the end of the episode, of course, they part ways and she actually gets a little sad that they may never see each other again. But then, later on, you see Bluey all grown up, as a teenager I believe, and she just so happens to bump into him once again in the same spot they first met. To me, I thought that was beautiful. It certainly was not something that I was expecting from the show, but wow, that was a pretty great moment. It was right there, along with other touching moments from the show, where I saw how much heart really went into making this a great series, and it's really paid off. Critical reception has been pretty positive, and it's already won several awards. Bluey is for sure a winner for me. Whether you have kids or not, it's kinda hard not to fall in love with the show. I personally regard it as one of my favorite cartoons of this year so far. Anyways, that's my review of Bluey. A little different from what I usually review on this channel, but again, it's one of my favorite shows right now. It was bound to happen sooner or later. If you have seen the show before, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell to be notified on my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, you're hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. See you next time.